Hello, gals, blokes, and all other folks. My name is Mortius, and today we are going back to a classic acapella, Billy Joel's The Longest Time. Fun fact, up until about 15 minutes ago, I definitely thought this song was called For the Longest Time, but apparently it's one word shorter than I thought it was. So, this is our monthly patron request from our lovely, lovely patron, Melody. And as a reminder, there are some tiers over on the Patreon website where if you are at those high tiers, you can just straight up request reactions. I know that's not for everybody. I'm not saying like, oh, everybody should go do that. But if that's something where you really want me to check out something, please consider going and supporting over at those levels. And one thing I want to mention real quick is you can totally just do that for like a month. I know a lot of Patreon creators like almost kind of like frown at that. They're like, oh, like Patreon's supposed to be recurring. I'm like, no, if you give me that amount of money for a month, you get those rewards for that month. So if anyone's like just dying to see me react to one specific thing, and you decide a one-time payment of that monthly cost is worth it, please join, submit, cancel. I'll do the reaction. I will not be offended at all by that. Those are there for anyone who is able to support at any amount for any amount of time to earn those rewards. I know that kind of got meandery, so let's hop back into the actual intro, which is, of course I know this song. I think everyone knows this song. Now, for the life of me, I honestly can't recall in my head which of the like hundreds of versions I've heard, if any, are the originals, so I'm gonna have to like, once I click it, be like, do I actually, like how familiar am I with the original versus every iteration I've heard of it since then. So I really don't know how much of this is going to come as a surprise to me. I'm really curious to know how much breaking down I'll actually be able to do, because a lot of like those modern a cappella techniques likely aren't going to be here. We're going to go to like a very classic vibe. So I'm really curious how much of it's going to take me by surprise, if any. I'm curious how much like analysis and breakdown I'm going to be able to do. Honestly, I'm very excited that Melody gave me the opportunity to check out something so different. And I appreciate the support of her and all my other patrons allow me to make sort of weirder, riskier videos like this without really being too worried about it. So thank you, Melody. Thank you, patrons. If you want to join them, links always in the description. And now let's hop into Billy Joel's The Longest Time. Hey guys, really quick after the fact update. We've been trying to get this one past copyright and everything like that, and it is just not really working. So we're most likely going to have to maybe change the pitch, maybe even completely mute some parts of the video. It's very frustrating. So I wanted to let you guys know that if YouTube's best for you, me and Mason will try to do our best to make the YouTube video as cohesive as possible. However, if you want to watch a version that, how am I phrasing this? If you want to watch a version that isn't like majorly edited in the audio and video that I'm reacting to, no blur, no audio adjustments, anything like that, I am making it completely free on my Patreon. So you do still have to go to the Patreon, but I'm making it public access. Anyone will be able to click on it. So if you just go to my Patreon, link will be at the very top of the description. You'll be able to watch the video unedited, unblurred for absolutely free. Hope to see you down there. Or if you keep watching, I hope you still enjoy your experience. Sorry we couldn't solve it. And I will say, even if I'm familiar with the song, I don't think I've ever in my life seen this music video before, so this will at least be new to me. Just turn it down a little. Okay. Oh, that hops right on into it. Okay, hold on. I like the very, very small build, or very small, like, not even build, very small lead in that has just doom, doom, whoa. Like, it doesn't like just like doom, 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 whoa. Like, I feel like normally lead ins are 4 beats or more. So it would have been really easy to be like a doom, 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 whoa. It's like how I would expect it. It's how I would arrange it if I was approaching a piece like this. But I really like the just like doom, doom, whoa. And then, I mean, it's just such a classic. Like, I'm not going to be like surprised by much happening here, I think, but I love this song so much. And I love I think the sort of call and response from the backgrounds is really creative in this. Just like that. Oh, for the longest. Because it's like, it's almost the reverse of what you would expect a call and response to be. Like, normally it would be like, the melody hits something and then the backgrounds kind of repeat it. But it's not that. It's da da da, kind of leading now the melody. You know what I mean? Like, it's really, really cool the way that they approach that. And you guys will have to let me know in the comments. I don't know. I mean, very easily it could just be other actors or buddies of his or whatever just singing over his parts. I was always under the impression that all of the voices were Billy Joel. And from the way it sounds, I still think that's true. And they just have people sort of mouthing over it in the video version. But if the background vocals and other parts are sung by different artists, please let me know that in the comments. I probably, unless I see or hear something that counters it, will keep running on the assumption that all the voices are Billy himself, but let me know if I'm wrong. Ooh, I've actually never noticed that. See, there's so much more I notice when I turn on my analysis brain. It makes me so happy. This is why I like going back and checking out even songs I've heard before. Listen to, we've got, like, once I thought my, ooh. They're going in opposite directions. Once I thought my, ooh, happening at the same time. Listen to that. Also, just the ease at which he, like, obviously, it's not a new or controversial opinion. There's no hot takes around here when I say that Billy Joel is incredibly talented, but just that, like, effortless mix he's got. When you put your arms around me. Like, that arms is a pretty high note. And not only does he hit it flawlessly, but he also, you even kind of heard when I just did it, I did arms, and when I went to the of around me, my voice had a hard time going back from that mix. Like, it's just like chest, 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 mix, chest, 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 and he does that so effortlessly, which is just so phenomenal. And there we go. So, same note, but this time he chooses to go into actual head voice instead of just a mixed range. Listen to that. Now, what I'm curious about, and I don't think anyone would be able to answer this, but I wonder if he chose for this verse to sound different, or if going into full head voice was necessity, because E is a awful vowel to sing, just as a general rule of thumb. So maybe, arms around me, arms around me. He was able to arm and do it to mix there, but needed me to. If he had to slip into head voice, or if that was more of a choice to be different from the last verse. Either way, despite the fact this is now fully into head and falsetto, fully lifting that soft palate up in the background there, even though the transition from chest up to that is still just as flawless as when he was doing the mixed one. Listen. And how you needed me to. But faster than that, that transition from chest to head is just, oh. This is very 80s and I love it. Hold on, actually, I don't think I've ever really listened to like the backgrounds here. It really changes up things. Let me talk about that. That bum 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 wow bum 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 wow wow, like that's really interesting. I like the way that it completely changes this up. And I like that they're sustained. It's not bum 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 bum. It's bum. But like each one is sustained under it, so it's like a chord build, not just a Wow. I literally can't think of the. It's the simplest word. Like the simple, just literally going up notes. Like if I just go do re mi fa so, what? Oh my gosh, my brain is broken. How do I not? Whatever. Mason will say it, or it's not actually a term, and I'm just short circuiting again. Either way, I like the way that it's actually a chord build instead of just a bump, 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 upward climb, whatever that's called. I'm not going to deep dive into it for a third time, but just it happened again there, and it just blows me away every time because it's such talent and vocal control. I'm like trying to listen to all the pieces, but it's just so fun. I'm also not really like paying too much attention or talking about it too much because like these words are so iconic that I basically already know them. But it is kind of worth mentioning just a little bit just how like wonderful these lyrics are. Like I just really, really enjoy all of the lyrics here. It's such a fun little just the story about just like falling in love again, you know? Like it's not nothing revolutionary, but it's really cute and I like it. I just said I wasn't going to talk about it a third time, but I think you ought to know that. That time we didn't even slip into mix. So now there's not an impressive transition. It's just the fact that this man can hit the same note 3 or 4 times. And he'll be like, all right, here I'll do it mixed. Here I'll do it in a head voice. Now I'll just belt it in chest. I don't care. Whatever. I can do all of it. I'm Billy Joel. Now we'll get to my only complaint, but it's not actually a real complaint because realistically speaking, it is just a product of the time. But musical fade outs have always been one of my personal musical pet peeves. And it sucks because anytime it happens then in a song, it's always because it's inherently something that happens at the end, it means I end my analysis on a negative and a critique. And I hate doing that because I loved everything else about this song because it's incredible. But I don't understand why there was like 3 decades of time where everyone was like, what if we just didn't write an ending to our song and we just repeated whatever we did last and just have the DJ just go in the studio. I hate it. I don't like it. As a product of the time, everyone did it, so I don't at all hold it against Billy Joel or this specific artist, but I don't like it. Just write endings to your songs, 80s people. But all of that to be said, besides that one very personal pet peeve critique, that was phenomenal, as I expected it to be. So thank you so much, Melody, for giving me a chance to take a deeper dive into some pieces of this iconic song than I expected to. I really, really enjoyed being able to check it out, being able to talk a little bit about it, and just doing something fun for the channel. So again, thank you to folks like Melody, as well as all the people over here and all of the other patrons that don't fit on screen for allowing me to do fun, crazy, sillier videos like this without having to worry too much about if they aren't received well or don't get viewed, because no matter what, I get to keep making content because of you lovely patrons. But even if you can't do Patreon, of course, make sure you're liking and sharing the video because that does make a huge difference as well. And as always, gals, blokes, and all other folks, I will see you in the next video. Bye!